My first and most influential music education was Black gospel culture and music in Lexington, Kentucky. This was a priceless experience. For many people who have grown up in and around a Pan-African influence culture, this participatory process of learning music is a given. Be it groove, ornamenting a melody, or simply expanding notated music to sound more soulful. In many Black churches, particularly in the U.S., it's not uncommon to see and hear elementary-age musicians playing at a very high level. Now, why is knowing this so important? If we want to excel at a specific musical or even non-musical skill, we must enthusiastically, rigorously, and repetitiously immerse ourselves in an environment where that skill is not just taught and understood, but continually experienced. Take the skill of acquiring a language, for example. Billions of 5-year-old children master the impossible every year, not because they are given the best books, the expensive tutors, or have high IQ levels. They and many adults are simply immersed in the culture. The African American styles of vocalizing, dancing, singing, clapping, and moving are all cultural elements that are at the foundation of countless global styles of music. From blues, rock, pop, jazz, R&B, disco house, Black gospel, neo-soul, and hip-hop to their unquestionable influences on international electronic music, J-pop, C-pop, and K-pop. We'll be covering the foundation of all these styles from a pianist's perspective. In doing so, I will frequently refer to this style of learning as the African Influence Method, AIM, a system I've developed over the past 20 years. Every week we'll be practicing and applying this method to each concept we learn from master pianists in this course. The African Influence Method is a system of learning music that emphasizes movement and immersion. The key to the method are these 3 steps: grammar, movement, and immersion. Grammar. In each lesson, you'll see several excerpts of musical ideas from the pianist that we'll be studying that week. We'll ask ourselves questions like, is the idea minor or major? How does the melody relate to the harmony? What specific chord inversion is the pianist using? And what is the rhythmic feel that's being used? How are all the upbeats stressed in the right hand? How does the left hand perhaps emphasize more of a downbeat or upbeat placement to anchor the rhythmic pulse of the song? Answer to these questions will help us to understand what I refer to as musical grammar embedded in those ideas. Movement. An important component of the African Influence Method for internalizing musical ideas is to physically move to that music through dancing, singing, using vocal syllables, beatboxing, swaying, or tapping one's foot. An analogy between music and water can be found in African philosophies and traditions. With its flowing rhythms, kinetic energy, and depth of emotion, water is a metaphor for music in these traditions. Music connects us, just as water flows from tributaries to rivers and to oceans. Finally, we'll practice weekly concepts using the immersion workout. This is a play-along system that enables you to fully internalize a musical concept. This allows you to be ready to play ideas without hesitation in performance situations. For example, you'll first play 4 measures of each concept, then play 2 measures, and then a single measure. The number of measures per chord diminishes here. The goal is to be immersed in a non-stop musical learning scenario, just like being immersed in learning a new language abroad. The renowned German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "The person who would learn to fly one day must first learn to stand and walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying." What a powerful way to think about immersive play. During the AIM process, we try not to worry about stages of accomplishment. We simply become immersed in a process that keeps our minds and bodies in the now. From this base, negative thoughts fall by the wayside, and mistakes become a playful necessity for growth. Through the African Influence Method, we learn to interpret tunes in a session or gig scenario. become more familiar with rhythmically locking in with the beat, and utilize pianistic patterns and styles that can be applied to any genre of music. Now, let's get started.